Good evening, everyone. I'm Lauren Onak. I'm joined by Peter Sonski, your 2024 presidential and vice presidential candidates for the American Solidarity Party. We have so many people to thank and a lot of gratitude in our hearts tonight for everyone who's helped with this campaign, which, as you know, has been quite long and has faced many obstacles, but the Pelican spirit has risen to it, and you have all contributed in so many ways, whether as electors, donors, and gathering signatures in various states around the country. So we want to express our gratitude and take this opportunity to leave you with a few thoughts at the end of this campaign as Peter and I sort of settle back into normal life. And so I will let him make some remarks about his thoughts and words and wishes for the party going forward.
Well, thank you, Lauren. And I need to start by thanking you in particular, because your being the vice presidential candidate along with me throughout this year and a half period since our nomination has been very comforting. I'm deeply grateful for all the work that you've done, the commitment that you've had, and it has made it much easier for me as the nominee to go forward having you as my running mate. I also want to thank, obviously, the many people who voted for us, who prayed for us during this campaign. Thank you to those who contributed, whether it was financially or volunteering in some way. Thank you to all of our campaign staff. Thank you to the American Solidarity Party members who, in some way or another, contributed their labors to the good of our campaign. Thank you to our family members. You made sacrifices. Thank you to friends. We appreciate the patience. We appreciate the perseverance during this campaign, sincerely. Thank you as well to the other ASP candidates that ran along with us, those that were involved in state races yesterday, Annalisa Roach, Patrick Burke, who ran for the United States Senate from Texas and from Maryland, respectively. Also to Eric Anton, Richard McKibben, who vied for state offices in Pennsylvania and Texas, respectively. Very grateful for your commitment to the party and to your local governments. Thank you as well, particularly to those who, in the last, especially in the last few days, have written, have messaged, have posted, whatever, messages of thanks and of encouragement. I have been humbled repeatedly by people in these last few days expressing their support, expressing their solidarity, expressing their gratitude for Lauren and I being an election day option for them, being a chance to go in and vote their conscience, vote for what they truly believe, the values that they hold deeply. This campaign was obviously very important to Lauren and I, and we have come to appreciate how meaningful it was to you, our supporters, as well. Regarding the election to date, we mainly have vote tallies from the ballot states, 7 ballot states: Ohio, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alaska, and Hawaii. In total, these are about 24,000, but there are still many more write-in votes that must be processed and reported to 38 different state secretaries of state for publication. And then we can gather those numbers, and realistically, it's going to be a week or maybe even a month before we have all of those final totals. But we are eager to share them with you, and we're grateful for your support. We want each of these votes to be counted and reported. It's just that the reality is the outcome of the election has already been determined. And I extend my congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump in particular, and to all others who were elected yesterday to federal, state office, as the case may be. I want to say to you, Mr. President-elect, that this has been a divisive campaign, and as a result, our nation is scarred. Your first role is going to be as a conciliator. We as a nation must come together, and your leadership must be the cause now of unity. Many of the people who supported you deeply committed to the dignity and the protection of human life. They deserve your recognition for their confidence and their votes. Yesterday, it was grassroots efforts that these deeply committed pro-life voters used to stave off just 3 of 10 state ballot initiatives that advanced abortion around our nation. It was grassroots efforts. It wasn't political party efforts that stopped them. You must accept and sign federal legislation to protect human life. We need one fundamental federal law to define this requirement, not 50 different definitions by 50 different states. I call on you to reinstate the Mexico City policy, prohibiting federal funds from being used for abortion abroad. It should be reinstated swiftly on your inauguration. Also, the abortion-related executive orders implemented by President Biden after the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision must be terminated. I call on you to repeal the provisions of the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act that require accommodations for abortion and to restore protections for religious employers. You must change your position on the FDA's continued authorization of so-called abortion drugs, abortion pills. You must abandon your support for a program to fund federally in vitro fertilization, or IVF, which results in the destruction of human embryos. You should pardon those justly convicted by the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, or the FACE Act, and repeal the law altogether. And lastly, but most earnestly, I call on you to dry up federal funding for Planned Parenthood permanently. These are all initiatives that I promised as a candidate, committed to the respect for human life. And I call on you, President-elect Trump, to embrace them. To my fellow American Solidarity Party members and supporters, I ask you, please give assistance to pregnancy resource centers in your areas. They will be in continued heavy demand and heavy scrutiny in the days ahead. Please also continue to advance our party's positions, whether as elected or appointed officials, or simply as active citizens in your area. Your efforts and your perseverance are truly needed as we move forward toward local elections in 2025. It has been an honor to serve as the American Solidarity Party's 2024 nominee for President of the United States. While my candidacy has ended, my commitment remains to the American Solidarity Party, to its principles, and to its continued growth. Good night, and God bless you.